Welcome to Mogul Mastermind. My name is James Knull. I'm the founder and CEO of the Mogul Realty Group. I've been in real estate for 15 years, and I am a certified bona fide real estate nerd. Why I feel I'm qualified to talk to you guys about real estate investing. I've been in the Real Estate Investment Network for almost 15 years. I've been the Real Estate Investment Network Realtor of the Year the last 5 years in a row. I've attended hundreds, if not thousands of hours of real estate education. I've raised over $5 million for joint ventures. I've got about 268 doors in my portfolio, most of it joint ventured. We've been the top realtor team in Edmonton for EXP Realty this year, for RE/MAX the last 2 years in a row. We sell a lot of houses. We work with a lot of investors, and every single person on my team is an investor. So from realtor to realtor, you know, we talk to Adrian, we talk to anybody else on the team, they do own their own investment properties. So it's a walk the walk kind of thing. And that's important to us. And our big why we do Mogul Mastermind, you know, we feel that there's two really important values that we have here. Number one is the information. There's a lot of real estate investing clubs, organizations, coaching out there. Our personal belief is that this knowledge is meant to be shared. So we, you know, we're not trying to monetize it. We're not selling coaching or anything like that. We're just creating a safe space for investors to come together, to talk real estate investing, learn from some really great speakers, and, you know, have access to the Mogul team to ask us any questions. And our second goal is to create community. There's no such thing as real estate investing university. It's an industry that changes so fast that I don't even know if you could put together a course on it that would stand up in a university. You know, every 6 months the rules change, every 6 months the strategies change. And so the way that you have to become an entrepreneur in this space is by dialing into the real estate investment community, talking to the experts, talking to your peers, staying inspired from people who are having success. And that's what we're all about. We're all about this community. So I like to start the meeting off with a little bit of a market update. Holy moly, has the market evolved from the last Wednesday in May, which was our last Mogul till now. Well, last May, my update would have sounded something like, you know, we're seeing some initial signs of optimism. The government has opened phase one. Maybe things will kind of get started. We don't know. We're hoping, we're keeping our fingers crossed. To right now, we are at like breakneck. Oh my God, can we even keep up with the deal volume? We have paperwork stacks a mile high. The Mogul team is literally writing, I just did the math before this meeting so I can have an accurate stat for you. We are writing 1.65 deals per day and have been since the start of June. Now, not all of those are working out, and about half of those are multiple offer bidding wars. Unbelievable. Our deal volume and our deal flow is crazy. Now, I know that a lot of the big geniuses and the powers that be said, we're going to experience this massive market crash post-COVID. CMHC said that prices were going to drop up to 18%. The fact of the matter is, do we have templates for rent-to-own deals? Yes, we do. Linda, reach out to Adrian and he can send you some of that info. That was just a question in the Q&A. So what was supposed to happen? Oh my God, the world's ending, the market's going to crash. What is happening? And you know, Brett, our next speaker, is going to confirm with this because he's the man of the hour. He's the top dog in Calgary. It's crazy in Calgary. I was in Kelowna last week. It's just as busy in Kelowna. I was in Vancouver last week. Multiple offers, tons of buyers. So what's the going theory on what happened here? My observation, we had a ton of sellers who said, COVID, to heck with it, I'm not going to sell. They completely wound down getting themselves ready to list and put their property on the market. And then as soon as COVID kind of passed us by, COVID didn't last as long as it could have. Not as many people got sick as it could have. The overall impact on Western Canada wasn't crazy severe. It didn't cripple the healthcare system. It didn't cripple the economy. People got laid off, but not at a significant enough rate to really tank things. So a lot of people were in what we call wait and see mentality. They wanted to wait and see what happened. When we were talking to people in April, hey, so what are your buying plans? I don't know, I want to wait and see. Of course, we're waiting to see if the world ends or not. Well, we waited, we seed, we saw. And what we saw was the world not ending. And so everybody said, okay, well, I'm allowed to go sit on a patio and have a beer. I'm probably allowed to go shop for a house. So there was all of this pent up buying activity over here. Over here, a lot of people who had made up their minds not to sell just moved on with their lives. So right now, the number of listings on the market is low for this time of year, but the buying demand is high, if not higher, than it's been in quite a while. So the simple economic law of supply and demand has everybody in the real estate industry going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Us realtors, boom, deals on deals, lots of showings, lots of listings. So for those of you who know who Barry McGuire, it's his wife Donna's birthday today, so make sure you send her some love on Facebook, little happy birthday shout out. I had a beer with them last night, and they have a massive pile of files. Like Barry's putting in hours. Mortgage brokers running themselves ragged. It's taking longer to get approvals. Our home inspector wasn't available to do a home inspection for us until next Tuesday. Normally we can book him same day or next day. Our real estate photographer to get listings on the market has a 2-week lag time. So everybody who's seriously involved in the real estate industry, the timelines are increasing to get stuff done because there's a big queue because the demand is there. So I'm thinking what is going to happen next is really contingent on a factor that nobody can predict, and that's whether or not we get a second wave of this coronavirus. In Edmonton, so just an anecdote, Barry and Donna and I were supposed to go to MKT, which is a patio off White Ave, to have our beers last night, and they reclosed the restaurant because there was a confirmed case of coronavirus with one of their staff. Boom, shut her down. That's been happening with a few restaurants now, where if one staff member has a confirmed case, they're shutting her down. So good for us for being prudent and safe, but is that an initial, is that foreshadowing? Is the shutting it down going to get more intense and more pronounced, or is it just kind of a mellow flattening out of the pace of business? We don't know. But I mean, when it comes, we had a 15,000 person Black Lives Matter rally here in Edmonton a few weeks ago. That's a vector of transmission, as the old medical professionals like to call it. And as things reopen, if things really start taking off and a lot of people get sick, we're gonna shut right back down. I mean, here in Canada, we're not here to take risks. We're not going to be all willy-nilly like they are in the States. If things start to get bad, we're probably going to re-enter lockdown. If we do, it's going to slow everything down, shut down the buying activity, and put us right back to where we were, in April, which is going to be a very slow version of the market. So I think if that happens, we're going to head into a winter that's going to be just crazy for buying opportunity. So here's the reality of the situation, guys. I'm usually, as a real estate investor's realtor, my narrative is normally, it's a great time to buy, especially in Alberta, because it's been a buyer's market so long. It's been a great time to buy. But right now, if you have a dog, if you have an investment property that you've been holding on to since 2010 or 2007, and you're kind of thinking, I've really been wanting to get rid of it. Right now, I'm telling you, property owners, it's actually a really good time to sell. So hit us up if you've got a property that you're curious about getting rid of. Chances are we can list it and sell it in this window of opportunity before the second wave hits. Asterisk, if the second wave hits. The other thing that I think might happen to the economy in the fall is mortgage deferrals that were originated in April are going to run out in October. A lot of financial support from the government, like the CEWS and the CERB, are going to run out in September, October. So for people that got a little bit too used to not paying their mortgage, a little bit too used to getting a government support check, if that dries up in the fall, there's going to be some people that, haven't really made smart financial decisions. So there might be available inventory from people that are motivated because of the choices they made. So my read of the situation is that, I'm actually selling one of my investment properties right now. That's one of the ones that I would like to get rid of. I'm getting rid of it, and I'm getting a ton of showings. And I'm going to be taking that equity that I get from that sale, putting it in a nice, neat little spot over here, and then I'm going to keep my eye out for a deal or two heading into the winter. I think it's going to be a great winter buying season. Now, that being said, we are still selling investment properties left, right, and center. There are investors that want to get into the market, And a good deal is a good deal in any market. So, you know, I would say that if you see a deal that you like, if you see a property you like, don't be shy about approaching it, because one of the things we are seeing a lot of is agreement for sale options coming to the table. And well, we all know that agreement for sale deals are great deals. So that's just kind of my chat about what I'm experiencing in the market as a realtor, what the team is experiencing. You know, I mean, it's nice to have the perspective of like, this is what's happening right now. Like we're living it, we're in it, we're doing it. That's what's happening. And that's kind of how I would proceed as an investor for right now. So to circle back to, you know, chatting about our man Ricky here, it's a really good time to be approaching joint venture partners as another strategic point, because there's a lot of excitement in the real estate world right now. And excitement means people will pay attention to real estate conversations, number one. Number two, we know that the great buying opportunities are going to crop up in the fall into the winter. Therefore, key in on people's excitement now to get them mentally ready for buying opportunities in the fall. So you can, you know, court investors, get investors mentally ready to take action, get those letters of intent signed, get them to take their cash and put it in a place where it's ready to deploy. And then, you know, that process takes a couple months usually. And then once the summer's over, then it's like deal hunting time. So you can really put a lot of pieces in place and put a lot of people in the queue to do a deal with you coming up real quick here. And that strategically, I think that's a really good call. So there's my read on the market, people. That's what's going on.